This country name is Bhutan, but everything you see on the surface here is an absolute illusion. Step onto the peaceful mountainside streets of Thimphu, and your eyes will adjust to a uniquely quiet landscape. Massive wooden frame structures designed in traditional fortress architecture tower over the valley. No traffic lights exist anywhere in the city, and thousands of residents move in complete silence wearing strict, mandatory national dress codes. The world looks at this kingdom and sees a mystical paradise, the isolated land of gross national happiness, and a pristine sanctuary frozen in time. But right beneath this glossy, highly protected exterior lies a completely parallel universe. A massive, deep-seated cultural shift splits the landscape where ancient taboos, strict hidden laws, and the brutal daily reality of modern Western influences run entirely out of sight of the luxury tourists. This is the raw, untold story of the hidden elite hubs, the strict traditional codes, and the secret truths that the travel brochures never want you to see. To understand the actual power and secret wealth running this landscape, you have to look completely away from modern globalized chains. Following the sudden arrival of the internet and television just a few decades ago, the entire youth population shifted into a hypermodern digital arena. If you walk deep into the hidden, unadvertised entertainment quarters of the capital, away from the approved tourist lanes, you will find a multi-story concrete labyrinth filled with underground gaming lounges, secret pool halls, and high-tech digital hubs. This is not a place for traditional farming or monastic chanting. This is the beating heart of the nation's new generation, an ultramodern workspace where young people consume Western media and navigate global internet networks every single day entirely through encrypted mobile devices and private local connections. The system operating inside these hidden youth hubs runs entirely on digital applications and high-speed networks, completely bypassing the kingdom's old-fashioned isolationist image. Inside these crowded, dimly lit spaces, local youth sit behind digital setups monitoring global trends, streaming international content, and managing private online ventures. If an underground local entrepreneur needs to secure high-demand foreign goods or trade digital assets from overseas, they use specialized online peer-to-peer networks that transfer value instantly across borders. This digital infrastructure moves massive modern assets completely undetected by standard local regulators, allowing the kingdom's new tech-fluent class to live a life of modern convenience completely separated from the traditional, highly disciplined struggles of the older generation. But the real mystery of this landscape extends far deeper than high-tech city hubs. Travel away from the valley roads of the capital and head out into the vast, rugged terrain of the high Himalayas where a completely different world takes over. Deep within these jagged cliffs and freezing horizons lie traditional villages where ancient taboos completely govern daily life. While official travel agencies arrange expensive luxury tours to guide wealthy foreigners through historic fortresses and scenic mountain passes, a massive, deeply guarded communal reality operates completely parallel to the modern state. For generations, local rural communities have lived by a complex set of unwritten ancestral rules, managing livestock, avoiding strictly forbidden agricultural taboos, and defending their sacred mountain peaks from any human disturbance. These traditional networks operate through a highly structured system of local community councils and monastic influences that are completely invisible to the outside world. They settle major boundary disputes, traditional marriage arrangements, and deep community infractions far away from the official courtrooms of the city using ancient assemblies held within local village temples. A single decision made by a spiritual elder or village head in a remote stone compound can dictate the movement of entire communities across the valley, changing local dynamics completely overnight. This traditional way of life generates a powerful parallel authority that never interacts with the official administrative systems, funding private community protection networks and securing vast rural territories entirely on ancient loyalty and deep spiritual fear of the mountains. On the valley streets, the daily reality is strictly governed by a complex and deeply stratified social hierarchy that tourists are completely blind to. The public image presented to the world is one of absolute equality, spiritual peace, and total contentment. However, the rapid introduction of modern influences has quietly divided society into highly rigid economic classes. At the absolute top sit the influential traditional elites, high-ranking administrators, and powerful tourism moguls. Below them is the struggling urban middle class, while the vast majority of impoverished rural citizens are relegated to the lower tier, working the steep agricultural terraces right in the shadow of the luxury mountain resorts. The rules of survival are applied entirely based on where you land on this social ladder. A wealthy entrepreneur or influential figure can easily navigate the kingdom's strict developmental regulations, using private networks to secure land and imported materials completely without delay. Meanwhile, A lower-class laborer facing minor daily infractions or trying to run an unauthorized market stall is subjected to immediate fines, public penalties, and harsh enforcement by local municipal teams without any formal recourse or protection. This is the real face of the landscape where the future and the past collide in absolute secrecy. The cultural divide running through this landscape doesn't just end at the hidden city lounges, it shapes the very survival of the entire country. While official channels broadcast cinematic footage of pristine mountain landscapes, traditional festivals, and wealthy foreigners paying high daily tourist taxes, a massive informal pipeline moves essential goods across the borders in total silence. The true lifeblood of the urban youth and local merchants is the immense shadow market of unapproved consumer items and decentralized trade networks that keep the local shops supplied. Every single week, transport vehicles weave through the treacherous winding mountain roads connecting the country to neighboring Indian border towns, bypassing official cultural restrictions, using unwritten agreements and local trade codes known only to their operators. This massive alternative economy generates substantial revenue, creating an independent supply chain that the central cultural planners cannot fully regulate because the local population relies on it for modern necessities. To see exactly where the wealth of the new tourism and administrative elite goes, you have to look closely at the hidden luxury real estate boom transforming the valley landscapes. In exclusive pockets around the capital, massive traditional-style mansions that hide ultra-modern luxury interiors tower over the surrounding agricultural land. These ostentatious properties feature high-tech smart networks, imported Western amenities, and private solar arrays behind classic hand-carved wooden facades. On paper, the individuals who acquire these estates maintain a completely modest public profile. In reality, they are the primary beneficiaries of the restricted high-end tourism industry. They use physical property and land developments to secure their assets completely outside the standard infrastructure. Because physical land represents permanent stability in a highly regulated kingdom, these vast estates serve as the ultimate safe haven for private capital, allowing the elite to store and multiply their wealth completely hidden from the public eye. But the most tightly guarded secret in this isolated society is the hidden network of private entertainment and forbidden foreign media rings operating behind closed doors. Due to strict state guidelines protecting local traditions, official public broadcasts remain heavily censored, and nightlife options are legally limited by curfew. This dark reality has given rise to a highly lucrative underground social market operating behind the walls of ordinary residential compounds in affluent suburbs. Wealthy families and connected youth do not follow the strict public curfews. Instead, they access private lounges and secluded estates equipped with high-speed satellite feeds, unmonitored global entertainment, and premium foreign luxury goods. In these hidden spaces, alternative lifestyles are lived exclusively in private circles, ensuring that the elite enjoy globalized freedom while ordinary citizens are left to follow strict public behavioral codes under the watchful eye of local authorities. At the exact same time, an entirely separate set of rules governs the preservation of personal status and family influence across the kingdom. While ordinary citizens face constant monitoring and intense inspections by cultural preservation officers for minor deviations in traditional dress or building codes, the elite class navigates the landscape with complete fluid ease. High-end vehicles packed with imported luxury goods, unauthorized digital devices, and foreign fashion assets pass through regional checkpoints without a single delay, simply because the occupants possess the correct administrative or family credentials. This creates a parallel reality where the rigid regulations enforced on the general population completely vanish the moment a high-value asset or an influential figure enters the frame. The ultimate control of this landscape rests in a fascinating balance between the modern administrative planners running the capital and the traditional spiritual authorities who command absolute respect in the rural valleys. The administrative elite manage the modern economic flow, while the monastic leaders preserve the ancient spiritual boundaries, sacred laws, and local taboos that have outlasted centuries of global change. These two distinct worlds coexist in a silent, unspoken partnership, providing the actual infrastructure that keeps the markets functioning and the communities stabilized while keeping their deepest social struggles completely hidden from the tourist gaze. If you want to understand the true mechanics of how this hidden world operates, from the isolated mountain kingdoms to the ancient spiritual taboos, we have a whole second chapter ready to drop. If you want to see part 3, hit that 15k like goal on this video right now to unlock the next chapter. And if you are ready to see more unbelievable realities caught on camera that they never wanted you to witness, click right now on the next video appearing on your screen to dive straight into the next documentary.